Good evening, my friends. This is Paul, and tonight I'm going to do a fairly snappy review of Fortnite for the Nintendo Switch, which is available for free. So, unless you don't have a Switch with an internet connection, I don't really see any reason why you shouldn't download this. However, I'm a very different kind of reviewer when it comes to reviewing Fortnite, and that is, I am awful at shooters. Now, I'm pretty good at Kid Icarus Uprising, but that's about the extent of it. I got clobbered when I tried playing Metroid Blast in Nintendo Land, and don't even get me started on games like Halo or Portal. I basically just flounder around like an idiot. Real life laser tag is not much different. I'm good at the stealth part of it, but it's the shooting that always gets me because it's so counterintuitive to use a stick to maneuver a reticle. You know, you want to use some kind of motion because in real life you're going to move a gun. So Fortnite basically starts out with your characters jumping out of a flying bus onto this gigantic island, and there it plays out pretty much like what you would expect if the Hunger Games were to be made into a movie. You start out with nothing but a pickaxe, and then you have to search for materials and weapons, and you can use those materials to build a staircase or a house or a wall, and you can use that to help defend yourself. Sometimes you'll find interesting little tidbits, like you might go into a house and find a bathroom or a TV. One thing that really stinks about Fortnite is you can't really interact with most of it. Maybe it's because I'm spoiled by Breath of the Wild, but there are very few things in the game that if you see it, you can actually do something fun. Like, I saw quite a few soda machines, and I was like, ooh, soda, let me get a drink. Well, the game didn't let me get a drink. So that kind of stunk. But one thing that didn't was the design of the island is really fun. It's amazing to try to explore every nook and cranny of it because it feels like half Breath of the Wild, half New York City. And I love like going into stuff like a construction zone, a forest, how my feet didn't make splashing sounds when I was in the water. This game is not the most technically impressive game on the Switch. It goes for a more cartoony look over overt realism, and some of the animations can be kind of campy. And you're told that, well, actually the game doesn't really tell you, you're kind of just thrown into it. You're in a 100-man battle to the death with only one person standing, and you, of course, would have to make sure that you're that last person. When I initially played Fortnite, I wondered, well, how the heck am I supposed to narrow down 99 other players? Well, the game has a storm. To be more accurate, more of just like this evil force field that keeps encircling the island. And if you stay inside the eye of the storm, which is the center, then you don't get continuously damaged. And this way it encourages the players to continuously get closer to each other so that the match doesn't drag on and on and on. And I thought this was a lot of fun once I figured out what I was doing. The biggest problem I had with Fortnite, apart from my lack of expertise as a third or first person shooter, is that the game doesn't have a manual. And it wasn't until after I played it that I went into my Switch newsfeed and it said Beginner's Guide to Fortnite. And I was like, well, that would have been nice to know before I turned on the game. So the game expects you to use the ZR button to hack with an axe. I mean, who does that? If you've played Hyrule Warriors or Breath of the Wild, you hack with one of the face buttons. The face buttons themselves are used to build dwellings, which is weird. And then you can cycle between weapons with the L and R triggers, and the oddest thing was how you run. Like, initially when the storm was first catching up to me, I was like, come on, dude, you can run faster than that. But then eventually I found out that you have to press in the left stick, and then you start running. It's one of those super unintuitive control mechanisms that I first encountered when I played Twilight Princess HD on the Wii U, and kind of a bummer that Nintendo's going down that road, but maybe because the rest of the control scheme is so convoluted, they had to put something in there. Nevertheless, it was fun to make buildings, hack things down, and when I finally did have the guts to approach someone, my very first shot actually hit them. Granted, they quickly spotted me and clobbered me after that, But I was really proud of myself for accomplishing that one single hit when I'm so bad at this game. There was another time where I was diving from the bus and I saw one of the other players. I followed their hang glider. I'm playing with the hanger. Silly me. I followed them. I jumped into the car after them, and since I only had an axe, well, you know what the aftermath of that is. And I know most people are going to scoff, at least the ones who have played first-person shooters, and say, Paul, you got 1 kill out of 100? Well, you know what? I'm proud of that. I don't need to be the best shooter in the world. If you are a fan of shooters, this is not first person. This is third person, although it pretty much feels like third person because you use the right stick and you never have to do reload animations. That's really nice. Camera controls work pretty well if you can get used to the inverted controls. And overall, even though the environments have a lack of things that you can do with them, it is a lot of fun to explore it and just see the sights and watch the beautiful day and night cycle of the sky. It's also a nice strategic way of making sure everyone gets in the same arena when you constantly try to outrun the storm. Overall, I would say that Fortnite is okay. I mean, there are microtransactions in there, as always. And you can actually do cross-platform play if you have the versions on the other systems. Don't ask me how. I just played the Battle Royale mode and kind of stuck to that. But you can use real money if you want other outfits that are purely cosmetic, or if you want starter packs or anything like that. Really, the game is kind of completed once you play it, but it is a fun time waster, and it is a perfect opportunity to be on the Nintendo Switch. Although it's required to have an online mode to play this, and it requires this ridiculously exhaustive process of going through legal transactions and do you have an Epic account already? Pick a name that isn't already chosen. All that junk. Fortnite is easy to pick up and play. Hard to learn those controls, but once you do, you're in for a relatively good time. Even I was, and this isn't my genre, so give it a try. It's free. With that, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, God bless, and stay out of the storm. Bye.